Hey everyone, Joe here from Different Fins. In this video, I'm going to show you the techniques I use for crimping heavy fluorocarbon to make rigs and leaders. So before we get started, I'm going to go over the materials required to make your own leaders. First thing I'll start off with is I'm going to make a leader for the toothy fish, pike, musky, whatever has teeth where you live. So you'll need a heavy snap swivel, barrel swivel for the other end, some sleeves for the crimping, and what you'll want to do is pair the sleeves with the proper diameter leader material. What I use is Berkley's 100% fluorocarbon. It's a 100-pound test, and it has a diameter, a thickness of 1.04 millimeters. I match it up with Offshore Angler's double barrel sleeve, 1.3 millimeter inside diameter, and it seems to work really well. I also have some 1 millimeter, but it's too tight, it won't fit, so I go with the 1.3. Of course, you're going to need a crimping tool, pliers, side cutters to cut the leader, your swivels, hooks, whatever you want to rig, a lighter, I'll get to that later, and what else? I think that's pretty much it. Let's get started. First thing I'm going to do is get a length of leader material that I want to work with, and this is all pretty much preference, how long you want it. The reason why I have this TV tray out here, because for pike and musky leaders, and I want them all similar length, I make them the width of the TV tray. It's that simple, it's not rocket science. So I'll just cut that to length. I'll move this out of the way for now. I'll do one end from this view, and then the second end I'll do a close-up view so you can actually see the process in more detail. For one leader, I'm going to use 2 sleeves for crimping. 1, 2. There we are. Let's start with the barrel. So you can't see this from this distance, but there's 2 barrels to the sleeve. You'll run the fluorocarbon through one of the barrels, loop it through your item, your swivel or hook, double it back, and go through the other sleeve. Before you pull this tight and crimp it, this is where the lighter comes into play. What you'll want to do is melt the end and get a nice mushroom head on it, because that will prevent it from slipping if your crimp fails. Some people burn it and they just make it bubble up, but that could actually weaken it. What you want to do is not quite touch the flame. I just go in and out, very lightly melting it without burning it. That looks like it'll work nice. Yep. Then what I'll do is you pull the short end with the burnt mushroom head tight up against the sleeve, and then pull the longer end snug until you have a nice small loop with your barrel or your swivel or your hook or whatever you're, and then this is when you'll crimp it on a nice, start off slow, nice and square, squeeze. And that's one end. sure how well this will focus, but there you have it. Finished product, one end. You should be able to see, there we go. There's our double barrel sleeve. I've already fed one end through. I'll take my snap swivel, feed it on there like so, and then I take the other end and just go back through the sleeve, just like that. And this is where I'll use the lighter. I like to use the blue flame that's close to the lighter for melting. Seems to be better controlled. And I just go in and out. Bit of a breeze here. Normally I'm doing this inside, indoors. But I'll try to do the best I can. There. Let that cool. You'll see a little end there. I'm filming this with manual focus right now because it wouldn't focus automatically, so it might go in and out. But before I crimp it, this is what we have. So we have a melted mushroom head, double barrel sleeve, and the snap. Time to crimp it. So you'll want to get it centered and as square as possible, and slowly squeeze down on it until it's nice and tight. And there's the finished product. Now that I've shown you the process of how I make my leaders, I'm just gonna quickly wing up another one here. I'll show you how fast it can be. And this is something I like doing, you know, in the winter time or the seasons in between fishing when you can't really get out, watch TV. I'll do this in the living room, just keeping the hands busy. So through the sleeve, around the hook. This is a leader or a rig I'm going to use for catfish. Swivel spun on me here. So I have a 9/0 circle hook, which I use for the monster catfish of the Red River in Manitoba. Melts this quickly. Beautiful. Turned out much better than the one I did in the close-up actually. Slide that tight. Center the crimping tool on the sleeve. Square it up. Squeeze. Another thing I have to do, because I use this in Manitoba, is I have to debarb the hook, because only barbless hooks are allowed in Manitoba. There we go. The barb is squished down. So I have my barbless, now barbless, 9/0 circle hook on one end of the leader. I'm going to feed it through the other end here and put the barrel swivel on. The reason why I use heavy fluoro or mono for catfish is not the same reason I use it for pike or musky. They don't really have teeth that are going to bite through. It's really more about protecting the catfish. Because you have this heavy leader, it's got a thicker diameter. It's not going to cut the skin, cause any injury to the fish as much as, you know, a light fluoro or braided line would. And it's the same reason why I use the 9/0 circle hook. You can get away with a 6/0, 7/0, you know, smaller hook for those monster catfish. But, you know, it's the same thing. They pull like a freight train. The more surface area you can get on the mouth, the less damage you're going to do to the fish. So again, not necessary, but it's more about looking out for the fish. So out this end, get a nice mushroom head there. There we go. Pull it tight to the sleeve. Nice tight loop. And crimp. Done. There's my catfish leader, which I'll attach a heavy sinker on a slide, and some meat on this end. So you might have been wondering why you would take this lighter and burn the end when the crimp should hold. Fluorocarbon, it does not compress as well as monofilament. It's very solid and it's not malleable like, you know, steel wire. That little mushroom or the melted end will prevent it from sliding. And when you're fighting some heavy fish, I've had these loops slide so they're like very tight, and the only thing holding it was that little melted end. So if you're using fluorocarbon and crimping, that is necessary. So there you have it. Those are the leaders I like to make, and they work amazing. I really started doing this because I would go into a tackle shop looking for musky leaders for musky and pike fishing, and I would see these $10, $15 leaders, often with hand-tied knots, just insane low quality for the price especially. And I decided to get the materials, make my own, and I've counted, and once you get the swivels, the snaps, leader material, it works out to about $1.50 per leader. Like, that's what I'm making these for. This would sell in a tackle shop for $10 or more, and they work excellent. I've never had one of these fail, not even come close to failing. Even this spring when I caught my personal best 46-inch pike, no problem, no slippage, landed it, no problem. Same as far as cats go. I've never had a catfish pull hard enough to break one of these leaders. So if you use this technique, you should feel pretty safe that you're going to land the fish of your dreams. See you next time.